This is not my normal type of post. Hi, I'm Meemaw. I own and operate Meemaws, which is a non-profit organization. So I guess I don't own it. I just operate it. I founded it, I guess is a good way to put it. My husband and I founded this organization. And it's about showing the love of Jesus Christ to other people. We are a religious nonprofit, but we are not a church. We're not a church. Actually, if you want to know the truth, I don't really like church. I don't like man-made religion. After grounding myself in the Word, I realized that there is a large difference between religion and relationship with Jesus Christ. So we founded this nonprofit organization. We started as a pay-what-you-can restaurant. Originally, actually, we started as just a restaurant. I mean, honestly, this story goes back to my childhood. But we originally started as a restaurant, took the prices off the menu, became a pay-what-you-can restaurant. God has been guiding us all the way. We closed down our restaurant. We are moving our restaurant to McMinnville, Oregon. We travel and feed people. We do disaster relief. But ultimately, what we do is we treat everybody the way that Jesus would treat us. That is what our goal is. A lot of people ask me why I do this. They say, why? Why would you do this? I grew up with a lot of demons. A lot of demons. Actually, I would see demons in my house growing up and not understand what I was looking at or what I was seeing. My sister would too. And it wasn't until we were older and really understood what our parents were into and who we were raised by that we understood that what we saw was demons. I should say my sister knew they were demons, but she was silenced and I did not know they were demons until I was older. How I found out they were demons is I actually moved into my mother's home as an adult. And while in my mother's home, every time I would be inside my mom's home, I would feel like I wanted to unalive myself, which is something that I never dealt with. So it was odd and weird to have these feelings that I wanted to unalive myself. But when I would leave the home, those feelings would leave. And I told my husband, Big Red, as you guys all know, I said, there's something weird with my mom. I can't explain it. There's something weird with my mom. So I started watching her home. I started evaluating. I started praying. I started asking God to show me. And there was demons everywhere. There was literally, I could see the demons flying over her home. I could see them in her home. I could see them surrounding my brother and my mom. And I had to get out. I didn't speak to my mom the last 2 years before she passed away. But the day that my mother passed away, a veil was lifted from my face. A veil that only could have been lifted by God or by her or whatever. I've never told this story publicly, and so it's a little nerve-wracking for me. And like I said, this is not my normal type of video, but I want to start posting more videos like this. But I woke up, the morning my mom passed away, I woke up and I felt lighter. I felt free. I felt like I could look at the world in a different way. We drove an hour to my daughter's basketball game, sat through the basketball game. Mind you, I did not know my mom passed away. I did not know what this feeling was. I did not know why I would feel this way. I just felt weird. We were out to lunch. My daughter said, "Hey mom, is that grandma over there?" And I looked over and I said, "No, grandma's dead." Just like that. And Big Red said, "What do you mean? What do you mean your mom's dead?" I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just know she's dead. He said, "It's the only thing that can explain how I feel today, that she's dead." And I started searching. I started asking questions. Come to find out, my mom was a witch. She cursed me as a baby. And that lifting that took place was her passing. That curse, that veil was lifted. I know I sound crazy. I know I do. This is why I don't talk about this publicly very often, because a lot of people think I'm crazy when I do. But I realized that day that witchcraft and occult was real. I realized that there is a lot more spiritually to our world than we realize. I went on a deep dive of spiritual warfare. I spent weeks, months studying it. I realized that in Ephesians 6, it tells us that we aren't fighting flesh and blood, but we're fighting principalities and wickedness. And I often say that, but people don't understand how important that is to me. I don't look at people as people anymore. I look at them as spirits. I can often point out exactly what spirit it is that person is allowing to drive them. If you're gossiping, that's a spirit of gossip. I don't gossip anymore because of that. Not everything is a spirit. A lot of it is strongholds, but deep down, like when somebody's being mean or somebody's treating you away or somebody's causing contention or any of that, there's usually a spirit that's attached to it. For instance, my husband and I, like the spirit of gluttony is very alive and well in this world. The spirit of lust, the spirit of iniquity, the spirit of bitterness, the spirit of anger, they're all alive and well, still in this day. And the occult use them against people all the time. And it is something I fought my whole life. I was taught that it was weird. I was taught not to look into it. I was taught that my grandparents were Southern Baptist and my mom was religious, but a cult. No one knew she was a cult until we were older. I was taught that spiritual warfare was something that you didn't deal with because it led to the occult. So I stayed away from spiritual warfare. Now I claim to be a mystic Christian. I have a relationship with Jesus Christ, and I jokingly joke sometimes that I'm a witch for Jesus. When I'm having a conversation with a witch and they'll say I'm a witch, I say, yeah, I'm a witch too, but I'm a witch for Jesus Christ. When I say that, they cringe. They tell me I can't use that word with Jesus. And I said, yes, I can, because I give my power to Jesus. And it just literally makes them cringe. And it's not something I enjoy doing because I don't want to hurt that person, but I'm not hurting that person. I'm hurting that person's spirit, the spirit that has taken over that person. You see, when I say and stand behind Ephesians 6 full-heartedly that we are not fighting flesh and blood, everybody is the same. It is a spirit that is driving people that make them be the way they are. And then it is the strongholds in the flesh giving in to that spirit. And it is our responsibility to recognize the spirit, rebuke it, recognize the flesh, change it, and allow God to reshape us and reform our minds, bodies, and souls to be for Him. So, like I said, not my typical video. Some of you guys might unfollow after this video, and I respect that, whatever. But this is how I believe. This is where I'm at. I'm not religious. I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. I full-heartedly believe that. And God bless you guys all. I love everybody the same. The fact that I can actually look at people as spirits and not flesh and blood allows me to truly love every flesh and blood I come across, because I know that every flesh and blood that I come across is a brother or sister made in Christ. It's the spirit that drives that person that I can't stand. So God bless you guys. Have a great day.